Hello, nice to be here. This is Micah Adler from Anyone Can Fundraise, and we are going to look at Claude and how it can help. So this is Claude, which was created by Anthropic, and I'm going to go into the nuts and bolts. This could really help nonprofits with something that they have created. So Claude created this, is called an MCP server, and I don't know if you've seen it, but it's all the rage. Is the MCP server is now being adopted by different LLMs such as ChatGPT and other organizations such as Google, Gemini. So it's really becoming popular. This is called the MCP server. And I'm not going to get into the details because it's pretty technical in regards to what an MCP is, but basically it's a connector. And Claude has created something also called connectors, which will make utilizing these MCP servers more easy. So individual nonprofits or small businesses can use this to connect their different types of applications. So I'm going to look here. And what would be the reason, just to give you a quick background, to connect the different applications? So if you're using HubSpot, you're using Salesforce, you're using Asana, these are different applications. You're using Microsoft Word, and they all have separated data. This data could theoretically be used for fundraising. This data could be used for next steps in administrative activities. This data is super important, but as you know, and everybody who's worked a long time in the nonprofit sector, that data is scattered all over the place. So this will help you, one, query that data, but I'm going to show you a really cool thing today, which will basically allow you to create a dashboard, which is in real time updating, and you're not necessarily, you don't need to go into that tool like Salesforce. You wouldn't need to create a dashboard within Salesforce or Asana, pull the analytics. You can just do it right here in Claude. So I'm going to show you really quickly what these tools are. So an example of these tools here, I've connected Google Drive, Gmail, Zapier, Asana, and all of these, like Asana has multiple things that they can see through this MCP servers. So these are all the items, and I can decide what I want it to see and what I don't want it to see. For me, I just let it see everything at this point, and then I'm going to go back. So then you can have different, capabilities. So what this means is that Asana or HubSpot, which is also connected here, you can add that to a dashboard. So I'm going to show you the dashboard super quick. This is a dashboard I created because I wanted to track my different interactions and how I'm doing outreach, which is really important. I've reached out to a certain amount of people per day, and it's really difficult to keep track of that. So I know on today, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then there's a weekly view, monthly view. This is something that I was able to create. So the cool thing about this is, and I want to make it full screen so that you can see the entire thing. Here, how do I make this full screen? You can publish it so you can share it with other people, and it refreshes. This is what it does. And so initially I created this and it had this information, which is super helpful, but it didn't have a drop down. I couldn't drill down into the data, which is not as useful for me. I know I have 35 activities, cool. What does that mean? So what I said is, hey, can we update this and create a drop down, which is connected to the data? So now you can see with links to the different applications, so Asana and HubSpot. So the data actually means something. So I can go into Asana and check out what the items are that I had inputted. And I can go into HubSpot and do the same. So, and it summarizes the daily activities. You can see weekly activities, how you're progressing towards your quota, and then monthly view. And then all of this, again, has drop downs. You could have like trending down. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And then you can refresh the data. I created it so when you refresh the data, that it doesn't refresh like unless I press this button, so that I'm not querying the data too often. This is in HubSpot and Asana, and it's using MCP tools, which are utilizing OAuth and basically APIs through the MCP tool server. So yeah, this is really sort of, for me, a game changer. The reason it is I can add in more functionality very quickly. So this took me all of 5 minutes. Second, I can get consolidated view of data without going into Salesforce, without going into HubSpot, without going into Asana, where I have all different pieces of information, or even Microsoft Word or whatever it may be, Microsoft, whatever it may be, either Google or Microsoft. And yeah, so this is for me, it's really important. They're also doing something very similar in ChatGPT called, again, tools, and they're using MCP servers. So yeah, I wanted to bring you this today and show you what's going on, and nice to speak with you.